Shaky.
All right.
Shaky, shake.
I think we're live. We're live.
Hey, oh, we live? You can hear me? Welcome to the Cares None Beto podcast. I am your host, Chris Cares None, and with my co-host, DR Fisher.
What's up, baby?
How you doing, man?
I'm going through some things, boy.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going through things.
Good or bad things?
I've been going through life, boy.
Okay. We're going to have to get into that.
Yeah, we're going to have to get into it.
I'm good, baby.
How
We're
you
in the
good?
building.
You good?
I took the bike. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's
The red, didn't I say? I said that was his bike.
first day back on the bike. I'm excited. I'm gonna go ride after this, so I'm good. I'm feeling
This
I'm
is the
feeling
nicest
good.
day of the year for sure.
so far. So far, probably, yeah.
It's been phenomenal today. Shout out Chicago weather.
I think it's supposed to be nice for a couple of days.
That's
Oh yeah,
good.
it's got to be some sensational.
Maybe it's like a religious thing. Maybe like, Jesus. I don't know. The
He
whole
actually
Easter
rose
thing, right?
and brought
Hey,
the
y'all,
nice
it's
weather with
coming
it.
back.
Hey, how y'all feel about Easter? Like for real. How do you feel about Easter?
I have no feelings towards Easter.
Personally, I hate.
Like you don't do the Easter egg hunts and all that kind of stuff?
I did have an Easter egg hunt today, actually, at the dispensary.
with
Oh,
nuts.
I had M&M.
Weeds.
Okay. So what about like do you like Easter bunnies?
What are you asking me,
No,
Chris?
I'm just saying because I'm saying some people like
my child
Yeah,
right
are you
now.
a furry? Yes, I am a furry. No, I'm saying because also is it a kiddie thing? No, I know grown ass people who are obsessed with Easter. So what about the religious part? Like, do people don't know Easter more for the religion or more for like the bunnies? And the
I mean,
peeps?
you could like.
I think
Is
they do both.
Christmas more about religion or like the presents and Santa? Like, I don't know.
It depends on who it's for. I mean, my nephews are going to church and whatnot right now, so
to me,
you got that part of it.
I think even people that aren't religious enjoy Easter.
Yeah,
type
you get some
things. It's one of those,
food.
like,
I just
what's
enjoy
to lose kind of holidays. It's like candy, maybe
Get a meal
running
with somebody.
around. Yeah,
just a
go do
reason to
that.
get a meal. I just was over my grandmother's house.
Yeah, it's like a nice
oh,
Sunday.
y'all needed a
meal.
reason to get a meal? I just get a meal just because
No,
I'm
but
alive.
like an Easter meal, Easter Sunday.
No,
is like
I'm talking about to have a
the gathering?
social gathering.
It's like a Thanksgiving light. It's supposed to be.
Mm.
It's all about gatherings. That's what these houses
You were supposed to be
are
hanging
about.
out
So
with
it's
your
not
grandma.
about the resurrection?
No,
Nah.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, he rose many
rose.
years ago, bro.
We rose
He
under
needs
about
to get
zero.
over it.
He keep rising. They keep telling y'all you're
Nobody
just not
cares
listening
anymore.
Somebody always
Hey,
claim
what's
Jesus.
more important to you, Easter or Groundhog's Day?
Your birthday?
No, mine is my birthday, which is still super weird. But no, what's a more interesting holiday?
I guess Easter.
Easter?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd go Easter because it has the story
What the fuck
behind
is
it. I like the story behind it. The story behind
Groundhog's
that
Day
just
is
is better.
worthless.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Easter.
yeah, Groundhog's Day story is ridiculous. But it's a unique birthday though.
Who made that story?
Hey, can we Google that? Like
About
what?
the
Yeah,
origin?
Google where Groundhog's Day started. Something Poxitawny Phil. I know that's the name.
Who the hell?
You would think it's my birthday. I would know.
Poxitawny Phil?
Isn't that the name of the golfer or what is it? Is it a golfer?
Oh,
I
the
think he's
Gophers.
a-
I
yeah,
know a
he's
gopher.
all right. Groundhog's okay. Groundhog's Day has its roots in ancient Christian tradition of Candlemas, where clergy would bless and distribute candles needed for winter. The candles represent how long and cold the winter would be. Germans expanded the concept by selecting an animal, the hedgehog, as a means of predicting weather. There you go.
So it's not a golfer. It's a hedgehog.
I didn't know that it had a religious affiliate.
Yeah,
I didn't.
you know,
I guess
I didn't
no
too.
fucking surprise.
I'm
Exactly.
godlike.
Any
godlike.
holiday, it's like Jesus is in here.
Jesus
somehow.
was at one
He
point in the story.
infiltrated.
We are in America. That's
What
all this shit
the-
is a story, man.
Do you guys follow a religion?
No.
Or
Nah, I
I
like-
grew up religious.
I like these religions. Though. It's fun.
what's the definition of a religion?
These religions are fun,
Oh
bro.
gosh.
No, like, what is it? Because what if there's things
They're
that
stories.
Is it just stories?
Yeah,
That's the definition of a religion.
that's what I feel.
It makes sense.
I mean, that's what it is.
I'll look it up. Just
Yeah, 'cause I'm
I have
interested.
to-
When you study culture, man, like that's what I loved about studying anthropology when I was in school. Like everybody is religious to some degree. Like you all are being raised in some type of belief system. We just happen
That's
to
what
call.
I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
We have our own different religions. I'm thinking.
The belief in and worship of a superhuman power or powers, especially a god or gods.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when you read it like that, sounds like some fucking trickery. But
But no, that's what religion is. The religious books are. I mean, you can call it trickery if you want to, but like it's stories talking about some trickery type of shit.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like that's what our minds do anyway as people. We can't, like I always say, we
have to
can't
put
get
a meaning to shit.
We have to. So it doesn't matter that people are animist or polytheistic or only believe in Jesus. Like all this shit is trickery. It's cool because we got to believe in something, you know? I don't mind.
I think everybody is religious to some degree, but
Yeah.
I grew up Christian, and
Me too.
Me too.
I don't
Me
know.
three.
It wasn't like I didn't have like a bad experience, but I don't know. Our church was just kind of strange. And then I remember like the first couple of times saying like "God damn it" or something like that. I was like, strike me down. Like I was ready for like the
you were hardcore?
Well, as a kid, you know.
Yeah, as a kid, when you think
wow.
about shit, yeah.
And in church, they tell
there.
you it's like you take the Lord's name in vain, like it's a sin, and like you're kind of
Right.
it's kind of led like a don't you little shit, like it's kind of intense.
You better obey.
And, so once I realized I didn't get strike down, and I was like doing drugs and stuff, I was like, my life's gonna go to shit, and it didn't. And I was like, wait a second, hang on, maybe I don't need this mother.
Yeah.
So when did you what age were you when you slowly stopped the whole religion thing?
I probably didn't help my I have 3 older siblings. One of them stayed religious, the other 2 didn't, and had so I think I saw them kind of like dip out. And so we were kind of the church or the family that like we went twice on Sundays to church, and like we were on, like
y'all
we did morning,
Yeah.
evening, and then we had like youth group or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I used to
so
be
I think my mom had
Busy.
like saw my other siblings kind of fall off, and so I just was kind of like, she, one day in high school, she's like, I'm going to church, let's go. And I'm like, I'm not going. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. She's like,
you're gonna go to hell.
okay, yeah, basically. And I was like, I'm okay with that. Sorry, Mom. Good luck. Have fun. And so I pretty much never went again after that. But
oh man, so it was kind of. Did you ever talk to her about it after that?
yeah, I mean, we chat about it occasionally, but
Still?
I guess it's somewhat just more for like jokes, I just like to like poke and prod it, like for religious, anyone that's like super hardcore,
So you started.
Started what?
You start the little bit of the quirks.
A little bit. Well, like, I'll probably call her today. And there's, I think, what's the line? There's something about he has risen, I don't, it's like, and then he has risen. And then you say he has risen indeed. It's like this script,
Yeah,
so, I'll probably say that to her, but then I'll be like, his bitch ass still dead. I
No,
know. So I don't know.
My whole thought about religious was
man, I love religious.
So I grew up a Christian. Well,
Yeah.
that's what the word I knew, and then my grandmother was a Christian. But my thing is, a lot of these religions, right? The people who claim to be the ones that like, the problem I have with religions is that they're in books written by people. Right. So like, when you read Christianity, everything you've been taught is something that's written in a book that human beings have written.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you follow something to the T when at some fundamental degree, human beings wrote it based on their ideas? It's not like just this book came and no one knows where it came from. These are human beings just like us who they believe in something and they wrote the story down and they've been passing along, getting people to believe it. Even if it's true, it's still a human being wrote it. So how can you follow something 100% in such faith?
But see,
hard for me.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing about religion. There's a written religion, which is a lot of the Abrahamic shit, that we know. But most religions weren't even written. So most of the shit is just like we just are folklorically talking about this different stuff and passing it down. So those are more like animated type of situations where we're just acting it out. So with this one being about a book, that's also interesting too. It's like, how can you know that these are people that wrote this shit. So how can you believe that? But at the same time, you can say, that these are people just telling these stories down centuries and centuries and centuries. How do you know that this is even true at this point? So how do we know that the sky is not going, or the sun is not going to come up if we don't, execute somebody on the stairs and let this blood fall down?
Right.
Like the Mayans did, or the Aztecs, I forget it was. But you know what I mean? Like there's so many ways that our brains gotta go. Like we have to believe in something. So I kind of started to give it a pass a little bit, like as far as like religion go, because it's like, even if it's written down or if it's just acted out, like we still have to believe in some of this shit. So when I don't believe in it, that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still my own story. If that makes sense.
Actually, I don't know if I understand what you're saying. If I'm being honest.
You don't understand?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I'll explain it again.
So we're talking about religion.
Yeah, I was just saying, well, what I was saying was, I'm trying to break it down a little bit better there.
And cut rep again.
Yeah. Well, you were going about a book, right? You were talking about how do you go about something that someone written down?
100%.
Right, 100%, right, written down, right? But what I'm saying is that's one form of it. Like that's one form of religion. It's just the written versions. But they're also most religion is not written. But people believe in that shit, and that's not even a written thing. Like we normally go. We're such a historically minded community because we're used to books. We're used to being able to go back. But most religions were built off of not even writing this shit down. It was just people literally telling you. So imagine trying to believe that shit.
More crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's like we gonna believe some shit regardless, bro. Regardless if this shit written down and your grandmother told you that this was true, nothing but the truth, and don't question this shit. We just started questioning shit this century, goddammit. You know what I mean? So it's right, I've had an interesting take.
Hang on, Derek. You got to shut the fuck up because we got someone talking in the chat. All right.
Hey,
my bad.
Larissa Ma. Do you know Larissa Ma?
Oh,
With Larissa Ma. She says,
cool.
"Hey, Chris, love the pod."
Hey.
I get what he is saying, Derek. I assume people believe in medicine, some don't. People believe in Trump, some don't. Larissa Ma, yeah, there she is. So,
shout out. Yeah, she's dope.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you for hanging out with us on Easter Sunday.
She's growing
here.
big time.
Yeah, she sure is.
On TikTok, I got a nice little following.
What's her name?
Larissa.
Thank you, Larissa.
What we talking about?
You don't want me to get started again, but religion.
No. Oh, you know what? No, this is a good segue because about beliefs. I wanted to ask y'all, both of y'all.
Oh shit!
Because you guys,
you ready, Tom?
Would you? I know.
This ain't even
thing he sent you.
No,
right?
No, y'all, you have no idea.
I should have fixed
I'll give you $100 if you can tell me where you think I'm going with this. I bet you.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna do that.
Person. How often do you experience, like, honestly, authentically, self-doubt? I'm not saying whether you get over it or not, just feeling of I don't know.
Derek's cocky, so I know he doesn't even.
Yeah, you can call it cocky, but no, I hear you. I love it.
He gets up there butt ass nigga. You think he's tripping?
Yeah,
no, he might not be. But he might. Some people could be confident in one thing and not confident in others.
I think that's true.
Yeah, you can be not confident.
But I'm talking about just as a creative person.
Yeah,
Larissa Ma says 100% of the time. Larissa, you better not. You get your confidence up.
Oh yeah.
What you say?
That she says 100% of the time. I assume she's doubting.
Maybe self-doubt.
Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be.
I think that whenever you put something out, I think it's very normal for you to be like, you take that shit personal if like the people don't like your expression. So if you express something, a lot of people, I would imagine majority of them who care about their work probably feel like,
okay, that's a good way to put it.
Like, I want to make sure this is good. So there's that little bit of,
so
is it good enough? Can I make it better? Can I make it better?
If I can answer that then that way, I don't have any self-doubt ever. So when it comes to people, if I'm trying to impress someone else, then I might try to doubt it. But when it comes to me creating my art and whatnot, I love all the creative parts of it. Those are my babies and shit. That's why I really never delete anything. That's like, if it's good or bad to whoever that is, numbers wise or whatever, that's your prerogative. But I never have self-doubt in my own story and my own creativity.
So when it comes to creativity, you don't experience any self-doubt?
No, I don't have to. It's a story. It's a character. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, everything is.
You always felt that way?
Yeah, because I'm willing to play this game. I just feel like throughout my life, I've always appreciated like moments and shit. So I'm good with just capturing something, whether it's good or bad. It's just like a moment. Like, I'm good with the good times, the bad times. It's just a moment. Like, it's part of the characters that you're building. So yeah, I kind of take my stuff personal because I don't expect everybody to look at me, but I expect myself to look at my story, you know? So that's who I want to entertain first and foremost. Because I know that's who it's for, and I want other people to enjoy that.
Oh shit, we got chat popping off, man.
Oh shit. Okay.
Shout out to Marilyn Harlow. Self-doubt and self-discipline go hand in hand.
Oh yeah, for real. I agree with that. What about you, Tom? When you deal with how often do you feel self-doubt when it comes to putting out creative artistic work?
You know, I don't know if I deal with like self-doubt. I also don't want to sound like too cocky. Well, there's plenty of times where like I'll do something, I'll be like, is this good enough? Like, is this like satisfactory?
To me, that's a small form of self-doubt.
Like to give it to like a client, like, you know, I'm never like, I don't know if this is like good. Like I know what I'm looking at, you know, like I can be the judge of like, was this video shit or like not my best work? Like, I'm cool with admitting that, but I'm never like tripping about speaking up, or like when I am pitching clients, like I'm, you know, again, I don't want to be like cocky is not the right word, but like I'm confident in my stuff, you know, like I'm definitely past the phase of like, I don't know if I can do this, you know? Like,
Yeah, you know what you're putting out. You're a professional.
You know? Like, yeah,
You're
I
a
don't.
professional.
So it still happens, I guess, for sure. But
how much of your own creative work do you put out?
not enough. Not enough, Chris. Nobody else wants me on their podcast.
Oh,
No. No. I'm teasing. But no, I've been bad. I gotta upload some YouTube videos. It takes a lot of time, dude. You do stuff. You do it for a living, and like
you gotta do what you do, and
I
then
know.
export it out. Wait, hold on.
I know.
You run a business that does that.
Exactly. So like I could, and I have the, you know, I there's no problem about doing it. Again, like I'm not like I don't, know how to do it. Like I know how to make videos. Like that's not
Clearly,
the problem.
right.
It's just like sitting down and doing it. And it takes a lot of time. And when I sit down and do, not to sound cocky, but like I get paid to do it. So when I'm doing it for myself, it's a little bit tougher. And like, luckily some of the YouTube like has paid for itself, I guess, a little bit. But you still got to just sit down and do it. And you also got to feel like inspired enough to do it. And then I think I actually maybe do feel a little bit more like self-doubt where it's like, I don't want to put out stuff that maybe people won't like. And like, I'm kind of new to putting out stuff. So like, maybe I feel a little bit more self-doubt about it. Maybe that's why I haven't put up a video in a while, but I don't know.
Yeah. With me, so it's because, and I think mine stems from like, if I'm being purely honest, maybe a slight lack of confidence because I want to put something out and I want it to be so great.
Mm-hmm.
Or at the very least, I want it to be authentic, which I also believe is great. And I try so hard to put the shit out great that I do is this right? Can I do it better? Is this the right way to do it? And I'll sometimes, even to the point where I have, what do you call it? Anxiety,
analysis paralysis.
Yes, analysis paralysis sometimes. But you have to dig deep and overcome those feelings,
Mm-hmm.
But with mine personally, like with my personal story, I've definitely said, should I put it out? Should I put it out? Should I delete it? Should I delete something? And then I'm realizing now I'm kind of more where you are now is that's part of the story, whether it's good or bad now, like whatever your story was, let's say it was shit. Let's say it was shit. And let's be honest. If you just started, it will be shit.
Man, remember oh boy, that was so much part of our conversation at one point.
Yeah, what, you mean just starting?
No, just like, remember we was going through that time where we were on the podcast and we were like, it's going to be shitty. It's going to suck. It's just going to suck to start. You know what I mean? Just knowing that that's part of the journey.
Tom, like when you first got into this business versus now, like it was shitty compared to what it is now, correct?
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I think that's just the natural flow of life. You focus any kind of attention on something.
I love to see the growth.
Right, yeah, but then some people are scared of like the little bumps in the road on the way out there, but that's just part of it.
Pain points, man, just solving them. And I love the creative parts. We're doing creative apps and making videos and stuff like that. I just love solving the shit, just putting it all together, piecing it,
Well, and this is going to what I'm about to say now is going to segue to the next point.
Okay.
But helping people be okay with creating art that they didn't necessarily do the thing. For instance, like a producer or a director. Whereas you got the actors are the ones doing the thing, but it's still the director who it's his idea. And then even above that, you can have the guy who owns the companies. He's directing like a piece of art to some degree as an expression. And then, you know what I'm saying? So, but some people are weird that if I didn't physically do it, then it's not considered, they don't give us as much artistic credibility.
Yeah.
But so help people get over, because I know we dealt with that a little bit, or we thought about that for a while.
Yeah.
Now
we went through that phase.
Being the artist from almost like the bird's eye point.
Yeah, the aerial view of artistry.
Yeah, because what do you say to those people who say that no, it's not the same unless I'm the one doing the physical?
What do you say to them actually? Because you was going through that.
Oh damn! See, I'm asking y'all a question.
You know what?
What would I say to them?
Yeah, what do you say to them?
I would say now, and I had to deal with that too.
Right,
like, this is a tough subject.
Exactly.
But I would say, look at a director. You got people the actors are doing the physical acting. Then there's a director making sure that everything is in the perfect place for the story to be expressed.
Mm-hmm.
Without the director with his mind, and it should be here, I need this shot here. Even though he's not physically the one doing the acting, he's still a very big part of the success of that movie.
Oh yeah, he
as a director.
He getting all the little awards too, like this.
You know what I'm saying? and he's physically done nothing. It's just his idea, his mind, right? So
when you can orchestrate it like that, I always think of an orchestra. So to me,
art is any way that you can express your your thoughts to some degree, and however you do that.
Right.
Just if you express your thoughts and the feelings and what you go through, your experience, if you express that on canvas, or you express that on video, or if you express that directing,
or in the nude,
express that in financial,
in the nude as well,
right? Or in the nude, yeah. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to nudism.
If you express that,
you're good.
What?
You're good. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, man, see. So how would you answer that? If someone said that's not considered the same amount of art, somebody who's painting gets more credit as an artist than someone who's just expressing from the bird's eye view.
I mean, there's just different forms of artistry to appreciate, but if you want to make it an ecosystem of your lifestyle and be compensated for it and play that game, then you're going to need to orchestrate. You can't really, it can be a hobby, but if you want it to become part of your whole ecosystem, you're going to have a team with you at all times. I mean, that's how people, but it's fun because it's like, that's how people are supposed to form anyway. They're supposed to be in groups, and it's a learning process that we run through together. Like, we were doing a lot of shit on our own, making a lot of our shit, a lot of our moves. And then you start to realize, as you even think about people, like, damn, we actually do better in groups automatically. This is just another way to creatively work in groups. And we can do this shit from around the world.
And you can get bigger shit accomplished.
And you can get and it's smoother. You can get transactional shit done, snap of your fingers. And you realize how much stuff you can get done when you don't do everything. You know?
That takes maturity, I feel like, D.
It takes, I think, bumps in the road, and it takes you needing to get to a certain, like, if you want to get to where you want Cares None to be, or Pretty Cool Poses and My Pretty Cool Ecosystem to be, you got to get it done, you know?
Right.
So I think it's just like, how much do you want it to be a part of your full life experience?
Being able to,
and there's a way to, man, that's crazy. Like, making a business of your shit is really the way to do it. You know what I mean? You can really turn it into your artistry into something that really becomes an ecosystem of who you are.
And you can pretty much do it all digitally now.
Yeah, which is even better. Which is even better.
Wild.
Well, I'm just glad we went through that process, though, man. Like, that was such an important process.
Yeah, and then you're almost doing your shit a disservice. If you have the means, I guess sometimes it does come down to means.
Yeah, it does a lot.
Right? So if you don't got the funds or whatever to outsource the shit that you don't want to do, well, you got to either sacrifice what it is that you can do, or bust a little ass or figure something out.
Yeah, you got to shake some ass.
There are situations where you just take the next step.
Yeah, always.
You just, maybe you don't got to go straight to blockbuster movies, but you can now maybe get you someone who knows how to do HD now.
Right.
You know my point?
No, I hear you.
Step your way up. You don't always and I know I've fallen victim to that a lot. It's trying to go for the home run shots. And it's just like,
me too.
And as far as financially, you invest a big number on what you think a home run shot, and it could not hit, but you got to be willing to take those shots. So to me, overcoming self-doubt, as I see how I brought that back, because I never answered it though. Overcoming self-doubt, I think the more you build resilience to it, the more you beat that one little demon, and then you beat that next little demon, then you just keep adding the wins up. You keep winning those. You're gonna lose some, but then the goal is to try to win more of those demon moments, win a bigger percentage of those versus the ones where you lose or you do the thing you don't want to do. And I feel like if you just keep doing that, your life's going to be straight.
Keep beating your demons.
You just make sure you win more than when you lose.
Right.
Because you're going to lose some. You're going to eat the cookie. You're going to eat the cookie sometime, man. No one's looking. You had a rough fucking day. I want a cookie. Fuck you. I want a cookie. Stop me.
I want a sugar cookie.
So you're going to have those days. But if you can find that thing in you where you had your day, you enjoyed it, let's start back on the train now, and that's if you can find that, it's that you can't, because them two, and all of a sudden it's 2 days, and then you get another cookie, and then it's the third day, and all of a sudden now the momentum you need to get off of the fucked upness is going to be so much more to get back on the wagon, as if you would have just started that first day. Right. So if you fuck up once, which you will sometimes, let's start over the next day. But as soon as you let it get to 2, 3, 4, 5, then now you're in a bad state. Right, Tom?
Right. Chris, the fans want you to start streaming on Twitch, apparently, and Twitter.
I'll do it.
And even
I'll do it.
TikTok, they say.
And I don't
know if we can go live on all those platforms simultaneously.
I found
that's crazy.
They do. I found there's an app for it. There's an app for it. In AI, mind you.
Of course.
So which is a great segue. Yeah, it's a perfect segue. So Tom, this has been on my mind ever since. No, I'm serious.
You go straight to you.
Yeah, this has been on my mind ever since you said it. Where you said, "Oh, hold on," because I've been trying to, because I've been battling with the idea to myself. You made the comment that AI is going to make people stupider. Okay, and I can see the argument. I can see the argument, right? But then I'm thinking it depends on how you use the tool. There's a way. We don't even know how many ways it is to use this tool. And to me, it's getting so powerful by the day. Literally every day, some vicious major announcement, and the exponential of technology, you know how that shit goes. It's just going to get more. And now it's starting to create its own things. It's starting to like perfect its own things. Like so there's this thing called alignment. And the idea is, because right now they're doing their own thinking, essentially. And will they have their what they core values align with ours as humans?
Mm-hmm.
Because I could imagine how we look at ants. Like if there was an anthill right here, how would you feel, Tom? Like would you look at them as sentient beings, or would you get them the fuck out of your room?
If there were ants in the studio, I'd probably kick them out.
And what's the reason? It's because you look at the ants as insignificant and they serve you no purpose. You don't really care if they were out there, you don't want them to die, but if they're in your way, you will get rid of them.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good look for the studio if we got ants.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be bad for business.
Right, right. Yeah. But it's not like you want all ants to die. Like you're not like going outside burning the ants up.
Listen, when I made that statement, I don't think it's like a total blanket statement that AI is going to make people dumb. But I think when it comes to certain things, if you get used to certain crutches, it's tough to go back. And so if you would have had to come up with the description for this lovely episode, not that you wouldn't have been able to do it, but
I still did.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But like, I think there are certain things that I get like, I'm trying to come up with a good example here, but like, technology helps people out, but then by doing so, you somewhat forget the struggle of doing things before. Okay, so here's a good example, right? A motherfucking farm, dude. Running a farm back in the day was super difficult. You had to have tons of people and shit, and now it's like you get these massive machines that their whole job is to like pick up something, plant something else. Like it's just done sort of stuff like that. Like, do you completely forget how to do it? No, but like has it made you slightly less of a farm? Like there's, the technology, has it made farming better? Sure. Yes. Like it's not like farming's worse.
Yeah, like
farmers
like
are dumber than before.
Like 1,000x though.
Yeah, I know, but it has
1,000x better.
But you probably like forget, I don't think most farmers, like if you're like, all right, go back to the old fashioned days, like they probably would know how to do it, but like some of them might not.
Okay. So I guess that goes back to that original point. If you're not the one actually doing the work and you're getting something else to do it, are you still the one responsible for getting it done?
Yeah, I love it.
To me, it's like, maybe I'm crazy, but if the AI is smarter than us as humans, it will, and it has nuance. That's something that human beings are not very good at as a whole, right? Every time you ask this chat GPT a question, it always tells you the nuance of whatever the problem is. So let's say, is it smart to eat protein after workouts? And it'll say, well, yes, it's smart to do this. However, da 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 da. At the end of the day, da 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 da. So there's nuance in every response. To me, human beings don't have that. So they're going to find the AI will be able to take the situations smarter than human beings can, interpret the nuance, and come up with the best probable outcome. But see, a lot of people don't like that because that means they might have to make a decision where some people might not live. For instance, let me ask you this.
Wait. What do we get to? Well, okay.
I'll explain.
We gotta kill people.
Wait. We just got
GPT might decide that.
I was on a whole nother thought with that.
Races and genders need to get.
No, it's cool. It's just my mind when you were talking. You imagine something. I was not thinking about death.
And the chat's popping off here. So
I'm talking about automatic cars. self-driving cars.
That's what they wanted to talk about, actually. Good stuff.
Okay.
So that's what I'm talking about, self-driving cars. A lot of people are a little weird about that. How do you feel about being in a self-driving car?
I'm cool.
You're okay with it?
I love it.
What about you, Tom?
Larissa Ma says she's okay with it. I want to let you know from the
Okay,
chat.
shout out.
But shout out to Larissa.
What about
again.
you, Tom?
No, autonomous cars. I see that's like one of those things I'm cool with because
Would you get in one right now?
Yeah, probably.
Would you, D?
Absolutely.
I don't think it's gonna like go out on the highway and do crazy stuff. Like, yeah, if you know, a big enough company, like if low-key, if you were like, hey, here's this random car, like jerry rigged to do it, like no. But if it said Google on the side or fucking Facebook or like Yellow Cab or something, I don't know if they're doing stuff like if it said Tesla,
What
like
if it said Domino's?
Honestly, still probably.
Yeah,
because like Domino's is like a big enough company where I'm like, okay, like
they probably
and it's
invested
like
in the
a
car.
Listen, it's not going to be like ripping 60 down like a regular street. Like I don't know if
People are
enough
ridiculous
people,
with their bikes.
maybe I'm sheepish like that, but like if enough people, like if it looked legit enough, like Tesla can autopilot enough now. Like yeah, I'd get in a Tesla, and so like a driver with a car with absolutely no driver, like yeah, I'd do it.
Well, I don't know if everyone agrees with that. I would too, because I trust technology for some reason, like a motherfucker. But not everyone agrees with that. So there's going to be situations where the self-driving artificial intelligence in the car is going to have to make a decision to save your life versus these 3 kids' lives.
Mhm.
The AI is going to make that decision by probability, and you know they're going to think about that and the nuance of the situation. Now you'll probably die in that situation because it's probably more beneficial to the advancement of the human race to save the 3 children over you.
Mm.
And I think that, how do you feel about that?
I think that is like, you know, such a rare thing where it's like humans aren't going to make the best decision there, and AI probably won't either. And it's like there's probably no way to like calculate for that. There's no like programming that's like, all right, everything's going normal, but then a truck comes out of nowhere, and you have to veer this way or that way, and like the AI maybe it'll be able to calculate the risks and stuff like that. But my guess is it'll be dumber and it'll be closer to just like normal human error, and it'll do what it thinks is probably
You think
best.
So? I don't know.
I don't think people are gonna pencil it in. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But like how often does those like scenarios where it's like, all right, you're in an accident and you can either hit this person, kill them, or slide this way, but kill only one kid. Like I don't know.
I'm just saying, well, shit. I mean, that's just the probability of shit. I think shit happens all the time.
It'll come up. Yeah.
You know, where you got to make, how many times we've been in a situation where you had to make a quick decision based on your subconscious. And if you have enough seconds to, it's like your life or 4 kids.
I've never been in that situation.
No, I'm just saying, but what if you're put in a situation? How do you handle that? You know,
I think they would put things into play to counter that as they're building the technology. So maybe even the sensor stuff that we had in your car, as you're getting too close to stuff, maybe that'll be built into self-driving cars. Where it's
I'm saying, and then let's mind you, I think as smart as the AI is over us, it's going to eliminate all those situations to like 99.9%. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Compared to human error, there's going to be way less accidents when you let go of the reins. But some people don't like not having that control.
That's fine, but I still think it's going to go on.
Yeah, so it's like it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, we are not meant to just stay with one type of technology. That's not how our brains work. We can't be scared of the next technology. We just got to utilize it. That's what we always do,
y'all. A lot of people.
That's what we always do, man. This is the thing we're supposed to use. We can't be scared of this shit.
Let me ask you this, D, because this is actually interesting to me. This AI topic. When I mention it to other people, most people, the vibe I get back 99.8% of the time is, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Like, oh yeah, that's wild. It's cool. That's the response.
That's wild, B.
And for some reason, to me, it seems like a much bigger deal to that. It's like it's a much bigger deal than just, oh, that's cool. And here's the reason why. Because it's about to fundamentally change how we live.
I think it's like a similar to like the computer, you know? Like
Yeah.
Computers, when we made computers, it like changed a whole bunch of shit up. Like computers were just doing things that we told it to do, but now it'll be able to do what it kind of wants to do on its own.
Oh, and it's already doing it. There's some shit called GPT right now, where you put it in a prompt and it does all the shit for you, like on your computer, and goes, and then it just handles it by itself. Then it starts to reprompt itself.
I do think that in general, right? Because like you talk all this ChatGPT stuff, it's like there's got to be a point where it just can't be as smart as like you'd want it to, or you think it could be. you know, because like, okay, if you could program, like currently, you know, you still have to type stuff in, you got to ask it questions. It can't like build a website, make sales for you and stuff like that. So if
They
it
just
got
solved
to
that. They just solved that yesterday.
I know, but dude, if it got to a point where it's like all you need is Chat GPT and $50 and you can build $1 billion business just because it can like, there's no way, right? Like there's just no shot that
I'm not scared
everybody
of,
could do
okay,
that.
but I'm not scared of changing the economy up. And I don't think I think we always go to extremes with everything, but everybody's not going to be on $1 billion business at the same, like at that wave, because everybody didn't get into the internet wave at the same time. We're just really getting into it,
some
honestly.
people still ain't on it.
Right. Some people still don't know how to do the
Which is
shit.
wild.
Right, exactly. So it's like this stuff doesn't happen as extreme as the cases. I understand like putting the case out there, case studies, but the wave of technology, typically people who they get into it first and it kind of trickles down. But it's so wide open now to where we all can kind of access it. And I don't think that's anything wrong with changing finances.
The reason why this one's let me push back a little bit is because of the technology itself is so exponentially more vicious than any of the old technologies, because it literally gets smarter on its own daily.
Mhm.
Whereas I think we might be severely underestimating how fast this is really gonna change shit up, and are we ready as just a people?
But what is it? Okay, but what's the downside of it changing
downside,
stuff?
I'm all about it, but I just know some people are terrified of
That's
AI.
but what are they terrified of then?
I think are you terrified of it?
No.
Some people think
Maybe I'm not understanding what they're terrified
some
of.
people think yes, because you're a positive mindset person.
No, I just don't know what they're terrified of.
Okay, so from what the research I've done, people are terrified that, again, what if their goals don't align with ours? If they're already making their own decisions, right? It's autonomous. It's going to be autonomous, and they're making their own decisions. What if they say, in order to do their ultimate goal, they have to do something that doesn't align with our goals as humans?
Mhm.
And they're going to be so exponentially stronger, exponentially faster, exponentially smarter, exponentially more resources, more than any human being is going to be able to do, right? So they're scared that's what I was trying to say in the beginning, something called alignment. Can we get the AI 100% aligned with human goals? And it's a serious question in the industry. The people who run the companies,
Right,
they don't even know the answer to it. As a matter of fact, and I'm a positive person. I'm positive about it. I think it's phenomenal. But I mean, I can see a world where, because look how we look at ants. And that's why I brought that up. Would you, if you needed the ants to get out of the way of your goal, which is this room, wouldn't you just eliminate them?
I don't think. Well, we didn't create the ants, so I think it's a different thing where we can set the rules.
Create us either.
Right? They didn't create us, but we created it. So it's still we can still put in rules like we do with every single type of government and technology.
Yeah,
to put in play with.
Okay, and I understand that, but they're exponentially smarter than us with exponentially more resources.
I don't agree with that. First of all,
they're definitely the only thing that they cannot do is have as much of a creative expression, because the only thing they get trained on the shit that we put in there.
Yeah,
but they still they're smart enough as far as how much they can process, how many thoughts, how fast they are. They're quicker than us. We are super slow. Our intelligence, even if it's fundamentally more complex,
right,
it's still way slower than theirs.
Right. That's all
dominate
speed.
Us in all things.
That's all speed and whatnot, but it's still our knowledge that we have to put into it. It's still not better than us. It's more efficient than us, but it's still our knowledge. So I still feel like
efficiency is always going to win. You know.
No. Okay, but it's not a battle. We can still build the thing within it's still us that's in it.
Okay, so I agree with the positivity, but my point is, some people.
It's not about positivity. It's just kind of the evolution of technology, how it goes. Like you build yourself into it.
I agree with that, Derek. I'm telling you right there. What if they get a mind of their own and they don't give a fuck what our core values are? And
I don't see how it always goes to the extremist level, but I think that it actually goes to where we understand those things. We have people who think that way so that we can test those things, so we can not just put out shit that's gonna go rampage and go Incredible Hulk on us. Like that's
but the Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, literally said, we don't know.
But people always don't know stuff, man. We have to discover.
But you just said that they wouldn't put it out unless they knew.
But what I'm saying is we always figure out stuff. Like we don't know anything. We didn't know how to build a microphone. We figured it out. I don't feel like it's always but
the microphone don't think for itself.
Right. But what I'm saying is it's still a technology. I don't care if it's AI or not, bro. It's still a technology because this is just another part of Earth that we're on.
I agree with that on this core level, but something that thinks for itself and versus something that doesn't is two fundamentally different.
Yeah, it's
ideas.
fundamentally different.
And we understand the one that doesn't think for itself. We don't understand the one that thinks for itself and has its own thoughts.
I think we're just new into the information age, and we're just learning how to pass information inside of technology that's not our physical bodies and whatnot. So we're just like freaking the fuck out about it. I think so.
But we're still not passing it at this point.
Wait, we're freaking out,
letting them pass
but
it.
sometimes it takes freak out and whatnot to actually test stuff so that you can actually make sure that shit is not going to go Incredible Hulk. So I believe that we always will do
we'll
that.
Figure it out.
We
as a
always
species.
do.
I'll give you that.
You know,
but I think it will be very different. It's going to be a different world, and I believe soon. Because I think so. I'm actually in that space. All my feeds, my YouTubes, all that shit. It's just like it's like 80% fucking AI stuff, right? And I'm listening to the podcast of the owners of the companies and people talking about it. I do not believe that human beings are ready for what's about to happen. And I mean that from like a lot of jobs are about to get displaced, and they're going to have to figure out some type of fucking universal base income. Because here's the thing, a lot of it is good, but I don't know, people. It should be happening way sooner than. I think some dude tried to run on that like last year or maybe 2020. I think somebody tried to.
Bernie tried once. I
don't know his name, but he's some Asian.
I have a feeling that that's going to be a talking point.
Yeah.
For this next one.
I think that's kind of fucked. I don't know enough about economics or
I
politics.
We can do it.
The universal basic.
Let's talk about it.
Shit's about to get solved.
That's what this stuff is going to really solve. All of this really in my mind is going to solve that. Where we're all going to be having basic income and our basic necessities. That's what the human technology is doing, is making it so that
easy for
these laborious jobs that used to be slavery, literally, people, y'all got to realize, like, wake the fuck up. What this technology is doing is helping people we literally had slaves at one point, and we have low wage labor, which people cannot even get out of mentally. A lot of times it's a trap. And if you've never been in that, you don't understand what it's like to only work at Burger King your whole fucking life and that be your ceiling. So this technology and the opportunities lie on individuals, you know what I'm saying, to actually take advantage of. And then you talk about the AI on top of that, creating, like, eliminating even that, and just saying the government now has to handle this. Like, you put it in the government hand when you introduce technology like that, because they realize, like, all these jobs are being taken over because this technology is so great. So we don't need this people laboring for this. We have to get their mind into something better anyway, which it should have been. So don't let the technology, like,
but then you have to
downgrade
the
the
government
people
in that situation.
But I think you have to have the people.
Things, you know?
I'm sorry.
Say it again?
Like, what are these better roles? And like, it'll be like.
I think we focus. It can be less laborious. We can be a species that's less laborious. I mean, if you build technologies that doesn't allow you to do the labor, then you go into, I know, more sentient things. You know, like we do now. We are a very informational age. Like, that's a whole wave right now that's new, that's connected with the technology, that's going to open industries that we don't even know. Podcasting is something that's just a minute version of people being able to be individuals with that. But yeah.
Well, to me, I think it'd be great to live in a world where where the AI will take care of a lot of the shit that human beings.
Absolutely.
And again, I think it's going to probably take a few steps back. Maybe I think that's a potential to take 10 steps forward or whatever. Personally, in my life, challenges have always been the thing that get me to grow. So I think even with this situation with AI taking over, it might be some challenges that we're going to have to deal with.
Right.
Because I'm telling you right now, if you're a business person and your goal is to clutch your business, it would behoove you. It would behoove you very seriously to spend some time understanding AI,
some form of it,
because you're going to get 1,000x past than someone who's just stubborn in their own ways. They might have a better art or whatever that is, whatever their thing is. You are going to get surpassed by someone who's using the AI to help them go through it.
Yeah,
and that's just as far as a business ideas. You can add, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a artificial intelligence chatbot, and it's by Microsoft and a company called OpenAI. It's called ChatGPT.
8.
There's a free version, 3.5, and then if you pay the $20 a month, it's version 4. And you can go there right now, sign up. It's free, you can ask it like anything you can think of.
I just wrote some copy on there for the website.
Yeah, anything with writing, you can use it to like summarize a book. You can use it to do all kind of stuff like this, whatever. And we talked about this like months ago.
No, I want to not to cut you off, but I want to go back to about yes, I think it will eliminate a lot of jobs and such. And universal basic income is one thing, but like, who the fuck's paying for it? Because if entire industries are just there's no labor force, I feel like I mean, what you just have a population of people that are like just collecting money from the government to live in this world, but the like technology has done such a good job that like humans don't really need to do shit anymore. Like what we just consume. Like I don't know.
Why does it always has to be sinister though? Because why do we not just evolve into some other things that are just greater than what we even can understand right now? Like why are we so scared of the future all the time? Like that's part of the evolution of any animal, and we just so happen to be the ones that are sentient enough to build technologies that we don't have to do this shit. That's our key. That's our lock. Let's do it.
I'd like to think that we can focus on other things. Like I'm totally down for like I don't believe that there needs to be 12 people working at McDonald's. Like if we get computers to just do all this shit and you can just go up and get your food, like I think that's fine because there are plenty of jobs that are straight labor, like you said, kind of just some straight bullshit.
Right.
And if so, everyone that was working at Burger King now is working on software to help us go to Mars and shit. Like I'm totally cool with that. I don't totally get on board with like we just don't have to have that job. So everyone that was working fast food before, like now you can just have a 2-day work week and you do this and just kick it. Like I don't know. I don't see a world where like 60% of the population is like just living and while the other 40% are like business owners doing shit to actually like.
So I don't think that's the way to be.
Yeah, I don't think that's so
I think
either.
it's more what'll happen is, and again, I don't have the answer to it, but I believe that human beings need meaning.
Yeah, we do.
So I think human beings are going to still find a way to have drama. Human beings are still going to have to find ways to have love. Human beings still need to find a way to be creative. That's like our number one. And most of us, like,
we don't have time to be creative.
And even the people who want to be creative can't because they feel like they're bogged down by life. But everyone, to some degree, has some creativity. A lot of creativity.
I'm telling you, bro.
If you want to get on some point, if you want to get on some spiritual shit, in my opinion,
talk to him.
The fact that you even here is like the most creative,
bro.
The most you like the most intense bit of creativity that's known to man.
And bro, just think about it. We have never really truly felt that as a species. I don't think any species really has, because we've always had to work this ground so hard. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had time to really just be free and just really be just creatively us. You know what I mean? Right. Only very few people get to experience that. So what if I think that's the goal of most people, at least in our society, is like, can I reach the type of freedom to where my time is my time? And that's what the technology helps us do every single time. So.
And that's the thing, right? I think people are the good business owners and the entrepreneurs are the ones buying their time back.
That's all it is. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like, you're
buying your time back.
Going back to the original point of like maybe, exporting some of the things you don't want to do. And I struggle with this. So I'm not, but I know I'm actually doing myself a disservice by trying to figure it out myself because I don't have enough. I can figure it out because I feel like I can accomplish any fucking thing.
Right.
You put enough time and energy, I can accomplish it.
Right.
But my point is, now to be great at it, which is why I want to do something, I want to be great at it, it's going to take serious time and energy and resources and thought process and all ups and downs and all that. Do I want to do that? Do I want to be an editor?
Yeah.
Because to be great, you can be great. It's going to take time. The people who are good at it have taken time and hours and hours of studying fucking Adobe. Like that, there's a lot of buttons. And some people are masters at Adobe. Like masters. They know every single button. I know like maybe 30 buttons. I can get enough done.
You good, boy.
So I get why you would want to get your time back, man. Because I want to focus on the thing I want to focus on.
We're desperate for that. So I think if we have the time, if we have the situation to at least our basics, I always think about it like your basics are taken care of. Like your living, food, water, shelter. If we can get that and you can make whatever else outside of that, that's you. I think the economy won't just fall flat. You know what I mean? But people always are going to want meaning and have some type of thing to have. I just think that the struggle of trying to think if you're going to fucking have food and a shelter and shit like that needs to be obsolete when you have the technology that allow you to make that obsolete.
And I feel like AI is the technology that will get us there.
Absolutely.
And I believe as long as you don't have like the people who are like greedy, hopefully you can get away from that.
No, it happens, but I don't know. I just believe checks and balances, man. Like
because some people, I'm just trying to see both sides of the coin. I'm more on your side. I think it's going. I think
on
everything.
The opposite side. Don't be doing this.
but I'm telling you, I'm in these communities now, and I'm like, some people are freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. It'll be a disruption. I think everyone will land on their feet, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be a disruption. But I do think this, and as far as that alignment problem, I think you're gonna have to use AI to get the answer to it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you as human beings, if we have enough to figure out what the true meaning of what we're trying, as a people, we don't really know. We're still worried about borders. To me, that's like a not evolved enough thought.
There's so many non-evolved thoughts that we stick with.
I know that we stick that we're serious by, what I'm saying? I guess it's just stories, but to me, as a species, do you think borders
actually make a lot of sense to me? Because as a person that studies chimpanzees and whatnot, and I know that we are 98% related to them, they are very territorial, and most animals are territorial. So it's actually funny to see when a balloon flies into another person's territory, how crazy we freak the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, it's very interesting. So we act like animals, bro. We are the same exact thing. So now it's just some animal shit we do.
Well, no, yeah. So I get why we do it. I'm just saying I don't actually know what the fuck we were saying.
No.
For being honest.
No, you're just saying about borders is not an evolved thing and whatnot, but it's kind of just us acting as humans, but in an animalistic fashion.
Yeah. So do human beings evolve, or if we do evolve, at what rate?
Bro,
it seems like we kind of evolve slowly.
It's interesting because that's what I love. I don't know, man. I'm just not afraid of this technology, because as much as we think we're evolved, we're just not. Like, so the technology that we build, I know it seems crazy to us, but it's really just on time for us as these, stupid monkeys, if you want to call it that.
I agree. I look at this. So I know time, because you said you haven't actually even played with it in a while, right?
No, I haven't gotten into the other parts of it, but I have been on Chat GPT.
Okay. Lately. Have you pretty much stay away from it?
Well, it's not like something I stay away from. I just don't find myself.
So you fucking hate it, huh, Sam?
I know, yeah. Like,
you gotta get it off.
I don't find myself using it. Like, I don't know. And it's usually just because I don't have many things where I'm like, ChatGPT could help with this. And maybe I haven't had enough experiences where I'm like this, but like copyright and stuff, like I don't really have a whole lot of stuff like that. Like, so
let me give you a use case that I'm using it for right now. That's phenomenal. So I trained the conversation. Oh, and they figured out how to do where it knows how to memorize you from conversation to conversation.
Okay.
Which is gonna be huge, because now it can literally learn you and your brain and your mind, and
it keeps up with it now.
I don't know if there's something,
because I'm still trying to word it. Like, make sure you remember the last.
Especially with the free version.
I figured
when you pay the $20, I'll be honest, there's a lot of subscription fees that I've paid, and I've Amazon, phenomenal deal.
Yeah, it's one of the best.
YouTube.
Yeah, $20 is not a big deal.
Man, I'm telling you, that's how. And listen, the free version is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a phenomenal tool as a free version.
It is. I use it, y'all. So
I'm telling you right now, the difference is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild, and I'm like, that's the best $20 I've ever spent per month.
Mm-hmm.
And I spend YouTube a premium, great $10 a month. Oh, to me, it's like it makes no sense.
No ads.
No ads. Oh, I know y'all watching ads, man. No ads. I'll be mad at your house.
I know, right? I know.
So it would be the 120 to strongly consider if I told you. Anyways, so this is how I'm using it, bro. I trained the conversation to log my food, to count my calories, and to also be my workout like gym. And so I trained it to be a nutritionist, a dietitian, a food therapist, a personal gym trainer, and like all like psychology, all that kind of shit into one conversation. So then I'll literally say, hey, I just had a banana and some fruit. And it'll say, all right, you just had banana and fruit. And it would tell you the whatever you want to know about it. If you want to know the fat and so personally, I do calories, protein, sodium, and whatnot. And every time I put it in, it automatically logs it for you and cleans it up. And then the next day, you can say, hey, what did I eat yesterday? How many calories did I have left? And you can train it to give you whatever information you want about the input.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally it's also my food therapist, because I deal with the food issue.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I'm having triggers and shit, if I drive and I'll literally talk into it and say, and I'm not even typing like this, I'm literally just talking as if it's a therapist, not worried about the punctuation or nothing. Literally just saying, hey man, I just drove past this fucking Wendy's and I got a trigger, and I don't know what's going on, but I thought to hit you up because this is what I set this whole thing up for. And literally talking just like that, like a human being. And then I read the response, and it's so like, it like talks you down in a positive way, but keeping it real, but also like it's literally like an assistant to help you. Like it's like such a tool for you, and you can direct it to help you in any aspect of your life that you want help with. It can help you with that,
right?
And all of it, you can literally improve it and just use it as a tool to help you fix the things that you need the most. So every time, I'm telling you, and it's been vicious for me. Same thing with the gym. I say, create me a plan based on my needs. He said, oh, tell me your needs. So I said, okay, so I'm a 39-year-old black, and the better your detail, the better it's. All right, so based on what you got, based on this, based on what your goals are, this is the plan. Do this, and you're good. And I've been doing it. And then let's say oh man, my knee hurts. I would say, okay, so my knee hurt on this exercise. Can you give me another one? Sure. Here's one that'd be a little bit less on your knee, and try this. And I did it, and it was better on my knee. And then it would give me a workout. Let's say I didn't know the name of it. Then I took my ass over to TikTok and just looked up tricep curls or whatever. Right. And then now I'm on TikTok seeing the perfect form. Now the thing just, if you have all you need, because the one thing about a personal trainer that's awesome is that they're right there and they can push you right in the moment. 2 more, come on. You get that energy in person. Right. So you obviously don't have that on the phone. But if you can find it within you to get that extra little step, which I know you do, it's your personal trainer, like specifically. Right. And then it knows your calories, and you just tell it. And that's one use case on your personal life that I'm telling you, that's worth $20, just those two alone. MyFitnessPal charges you $10. Just to type in the name. This thing does it and talks about it, tells you everything way more than MyFitnessPal. As a matter of fact, I probably shouldn't even say this. I think that'd be a phenomenal app because anyone can use this AI, right? You can put the API on your website, and you can train the model to do what it is you want. So you can say, I want to train those people asking anything about nude modeling or whatever. You could just do that. And for me, I would do anything to do with social anxiety, boom, or counting calories, boom. And you would go to the site and ask it questions, and it would answer it in conversational form, and it remembers what you said. So, and like I say right now, like, what did I do? Okay, how many pounds did I lift this last time? And it was like, oh, okay, you did this. You should aim for this. And it's like an assistant, like legit. It's Google Assistant, but on heroin. And you can do that for any aspect in life. So I don't see, you can look at it as making you stupider. Okay, I guess I see that, but I can also see it's making you a fucking superhuman because you can handle all your shit 24/7 for $20 a month. Right.
Maybe it's not dumb. It's just like, I think it is somewhat still of like a crutch. I don't know. I find it helpful, but anything that you get, anything that's too good makes you a little suspicious, man. I don't know if that is.
It's a mindset.
That's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
But no, it's usually somewhat true, though. I don't know. Unless it's $20 now, but who knows what shit could,
So are you looking at it from that aspect that like maybe they get you hooked? Is that what you're saying?
It's not even about like a money thing. No, everything you're saying, I'm like, this makes sense. It's super great. I got no like problems, but maybe it's that mind that I have in the back of my head where it's like, this shit shuts down, or like.
But you could do that now with the internet, no?
Huh?
What if the internet just shut down? What if the garbage truck just shut down?
All the technology that we've ever built.
That's what's kind of scary about it. I don't know. And when the power is out and you're like, oh, I know, shit, man, like I don't even know how to entertain myself anymore. Like ChatGPT shuts down, and it's like you're so used to it for helping you out with your calories, your gym and shit.
I get it. But I can say the same thing about maps. I can say the same thing about any technology. Writing. People used to write like this.
Maps is another good point where it's like I get what you're saying, and like I think overwhelmingly, like, listen, directions back. You guys remember MapQuest days? Like,
oh yes,
so much
that's crazy, bro.
Than MapQuest days, but like at the same time, like you don't probably know nearly as much. Like you. The other day, you were coming to the studio. You didn't know how to get here.
Nope, lost
and it's
like,
listen,
I'm lost. Hey, I agree with you.
Like, absolutely lost.
I need Google.
And so it is like a crutch. Like, is it a good thing? Like, I love being able to just be like, here's the address, boom. Like, it'll get me there. No fucking problems. But there's always in the back of my head, it's like, but you didn't learn how to you didn't go through the pain. I don't know.
But why not focus on other things?
I don't know.
But I do see it. You kind of at its control. I get that because I don't remember no one's number. When's the time you memorize a number?
Never.
I think I memorized 3
A
numbers in my
phone number.
life.
Yeah, I was just thinking the other day. I was like, I don't know Colton's phone number. If I didn't have it locked in my
You just
phone,
be screwed,
I'd be
huh?
You
screwed.
go
I
to
wouldn't-
Instagram.
I wouldn't know how to count. Yeah, I'd have to go to Instagram. If I didn't
Cool.
have
See,
Instagram.
technology, bro.
Well, speaking of, I know we only got a little bit of time, but D, what happened with you and your phone yesterday?
Oh man, actually, I'd rather talk about something else.
Oh, no. My fault.
I lost my phone yesterday, but
But he got it back.
yeah, I got it back. Oh yeah, it's all good.
What
It's
you
all
mean?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all
I
good.
thought it was a good story. The story I was saying. Anyway.
I'd rather end it on a good note.
That to me, that's a good note because the reason I brought it up was you had good people that helped you get your phone back.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's a phenomenal story.
Oh my bad. Okay, all right.
I like that. You
My
don't
bad.
want
My
people to know
bad.
that?
My bad. Okay.
There's good in this world.
Okay, you're right.
No, but I'm telling you, Tom, listen,
No, I'm excited. Yeah.
all I'm saying is put some time understanding shit because I'm telling you,
I know it'll do good things. I know. I worry
for
about
you specifically.
anything that is too much of a good thing has some bad to it. I just don't know.
So that's our fundamental difference in life. You think too much of a good thing is a bad thing. I think too much of a good thing is required.
It's a great thing.
It's
I don't
the
know,
way it's
man.
supposed
Yeah.
to be because why the fuck not? Why not be great at all times? Why not? Why not think that way? Why not always being like because can you argue
Shit's
with
gonna
me?
happen.
Can you argue with me that being standoffish towards an idea versus being receptive to it physically, does it feel different to look at something like skeptical versus, oh man, that's kind of dope. I think this is a good idea, Colton, versus Colton, I think this sucks. Which one feels better in your soul?
Obviously, like being the cheerleader and stuff, but I don't know. I maybe I was
So it does.
dropped
So
as a
you
kid. I
wait.
don't
So
know.
you agree that it does feel better to think on the more, whether or not you agree with it or not, you have a good positive thought. It feels better in your body.
Okay, but maybe it's like the survivalist instinct. Like you could land on a beach, be like, "Holy shit, this would be a great place for a castle," and shit. Like, "Oh, it's beautiful here. Like the weather, it's wonderful." But I'll be thinking like, "Okay, but if like people come from the sea, they could shoot the cannons at the castle, and they could fuck up my shit." Like, and I mean, it's not always such a bad thing. And like, you could do this with just about anything. Like, was social media good for the population as a whole? Like, yes, I would say yes, definitively yes. But has it also kind of been not so great for stuff? Yeah. And like right now,
There's both
Okay,
sides
that's
of the
nuanced.
coin.
That's
historically are a little bullish with everything. And it's like Chat GPT is like, holy shit, it's doing all this crap. Like it's only $20 a month. Like, oh my God, what's to lose? And it has that same little feeling of the guy with the $100.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
flip it to
yeah.
800, where it's just
Right.
like something's gonna happen here. Like there's God doesn't give with both hands. There's always an equal and opposite reaction to things. So Chat GPT replacing jobs, great. But like if 30% of the workforce gets laid off, like
It's going. I think it will get ugly.
taxes go down. Like I think it causes shockwaves that people aren't ready for
That's
or
what
don't
I was saying.
understand. And it's easy to be like, yes, this will make improvements. And I agree with you.
I hear you.
I think
I
the
hear you. I
technology.
hear you.
I'm a technology fan. I believe in it. Like I'm not like thinking we got to go back to the lame stuff. Like I think ChatGPT will do good things for the world, no doubt. Do the good things for businesses, individuals, and all that sort of stuff. But it will create waves.
I get that.
And
It'll be disruptive.
To just look at the waves or to like pretend that they're not there, like potentially there is, I think.
Okay, I definitely was not saying don't pretend like they're not there. I'm just saying,
or that they're lesser than they could.
You're
be.
saying you like to live in that space. I like to live.
I don't like to live in it, but I have filled that role.
Yeah.
I just can't get it out of me. You maybe just
there's people that think that. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with it. That's why I like this podcast. But I'm just saying personally, the way I look at it is if it feels, yes, something can happen, but you can't control it regardless. But what you can control is how you respond to it. That's the only thing that you really can. You can't even control that you walk out of here safe today.
No, I know.
You have just so much not in our control. And I think that as people, we try to have so much control of other people, what we think, what we want other people to think about us. We all this control. It feels as though, I could be wrong. I'm just some guy on the internet, but it feels as though the more you kind of just let go and just say, I'm not going to try to control all these different things, all these different emotions, all these different people. You just let go. Seems like shit kind of works out in your favor. We talking about life tends to work. So
this reminds me of a scene from Fight Club. Do you know? Have you watched Fight Club?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, where he buckles them in and says, "Let the wheel, whatever happens." What happens with the car?
Listen, I think there will be disruptions.
It crashes.
I agree with you. I think there will be a disruption for sure. And I don't know if we're ready because every time I mention AI, people are like, "Oh, that's crazy," and I'm just like, "Whoa, you don't understand the power of this shit."
Right?
Because it's literally whatever you can think of, it can help you get it.
And I do just want to say that I think the way that you live your life is a better way to be. I think I just am the way that I am on certain things, and I always
Don't say
kinda
that, Tom.
Yeah,
what
that's
is
ridiculous.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Be dope.
No,
Well, I don't know
you're great. Exactly how
I
you
don't.
are.
So, at the same time, like I'm not viewing it like a problem with me. Like to
Right.
me, it's
Just
part
is
of
what
my
it is.
survival instinct.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
it's
That's what I
like,
say. No, it's,
somebody, hey, here's
people are-
here's some free food. It's like, all right, did you put it on your dick though, or like what? Like I don't. You're like, oh my god, free food! Like thank God so much.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
why is there free food?
That's
right.
And so I don't know.
that's respectable.
Some people are just wired a little bit differently, but I
Exactly.
think your view on just being optimistic before pessimistic is a healthier way to live.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
true.
talking about literally not even just if you think it's right or wrong, just physically. I do feel like when I'm pissed off versus when I'm happy, it feels like I feel better in life when I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to meet up with D, about to have a podcast with Tom. Like that's a good feeling. Every time, to me, every podcast is like a little mini vacation for me personally. Like I really,
like being here.
it really feels that way to me. I'm like, oh, podcast day, it's like a whole day for me.
Yeah. It is.
And then we kick it too, is every time.
Yeah.
But then there's also days where like, I was caught in a hailstorm the other day.
Yeah, I saw.
Vicious one.
No worry.
Vicious. And I'm trying to find a spot, and everyone else had already found them. So every time I found, I'm like, oh nope, somebody was already underneath saving their car. I ain't never been in like I've seen it before. It's just kind of vicious.
Yeah.
That's why.
Boo, 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 boo. And
Hell is
I only got a little snippet,
Ooh,
so I got to go to the insurance. They should take care of it, right? I got the insurance.
Yeah.
Is your shit actually fucked up?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for real?
Really?
Yeah. It's
Damn.
Check it out outside.
It's got some dingy.
I ain't see that. That's crazy.
I mean, it's not like at the end of the world. Like, I mean, as a matter of fact, if them fools, maybe I shouldn't say this, but them fools write me a 20 ball or 10 ball. I'll fuck around, keep that bitch, and just keep a little ding. It looks like a little.
Yeah.
It looks like a nice big old butt with little things.
Yeah.
Little dimples.
You can get away with that. You put a stick on that
Yeah,
bitch. Carrots nut stick.
Dimples all across the motherfucker. It's like
I didn't know it did that. Boy, it did damage. Wow. That's crazy.
Derek, where can they find you, man?
Actually, I want to get my shit off real quick. So I have a couple things I've been working on lately I want to talk about. So I'm now an official affiliate sponsor of a company called Blick. Now, for anybody out there who's an artist, if you know Blick, you know Blick if you're an artist, but that's a place where you can buy a lot of your art materials and whatnot. So I'm an official sponsor of them. So you can go to prettycoolposes.com. First thing you'll see is a banner, Blick. You click on that link and it'll be my affiliate link and you'll get discounted prices on all of your Blick products. Okay. So that's one thing that's just for me as on my posing side. But also I've officially, I don't know if I even said this, but Pretty Cool Maps. I've been getting my sales popping on there pretty decently.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got a couple sales. I got a sale from Australia. From Melbourne, and then I got a sale from Las Vegas. I got somebody in the cart from Miami right now. They're thinking about it, so I got to get them to email blast. I got somebody from California too, so I want you all to go to prettycoolmaps.com. Okay, check out Pretty Cool Maps. It's a drop shipping store that I built. I'm actually presenting that so that I can make drop shipping stores for other people as well. So look at that as an example. That's something that I can do for you. We can theme it up, talk about it. Hit me up at prettycoolposes.com for a consultation with that.
I like that. I know with the sales, man, it's because then it's like someone really fucks with your creative expression.
Yeah.
When someone's like willing to invest in in your thoughts, pretty much.
Yeah.
You thought of that website up, those are your ideas, and you're like, oh, and then someone goes, yeah, that shit is dope. So it's like, not that, I hate to live off that validation, but it does feel good when you get it.
Yeah, no. It's. I mean, when you set up a system for the purpose of making money, and it works,
right. You just sitting there too.
Exactly. No, but it was cool because, of course, like you hooked me up. If I can get off a little bit more, you hooked me up with the Shopify system. So just being able to see that the runs of that in the back of house and see their actual actions, seeing that they're taking this from Google. You know what I mean? Some people aren't even going onto the website searching. It's just Google searching. They're purchasing right away.
I was about to say, so yeah, you must be on like your shit ranking somewhere.
Yeah, it's ranking and stuff. So I was like, wow, this shit is really in Google search. So, okay. So I know how to build something where I can confidently sell that. Like I can build you a website that can have at least functioning.
Yeah, because now you're getting
to where
you're getting
get
the proof of concept.
Exactly. So I wanted to put that out there.
Tom, Where can they find you, man?
Find me out in the streets, baby.
Hey,
Nothing but a G thing.
Maybe
Hey,
Chicago Podcast.studio, but
Say it
mostly
again?
the streets. Maybe Chicago Podcast.studio,
Hey.
but maybe the streets too.
Hey, you're
Yo,
making a little
girls
bit.
DMs. No,
hey,
You're making a little noise on Instagram.
Am I? Hey,
Your face is being seen a lot,
yeah, the ad. I got to redo it, man, because it's a little old now. But
but it's good,
popping.
man.
I've
It's good.
had a couple of friends be like, "Who is this motherfucker?"
Your YouTube's dope. I've definitely checked it out a couple times, and your shit's still popping.
It's still, dude. It's that one fucking
That's
video
crazy.
doing all right.
That's crazy.
I mean, the other one, but it is. I've had a lot of people hit me up. Like, it's almost actually, I got not like too much, but too much where it's like so many people hit me up just like, hey, I want to ask questions about podcasts and stuff. And it's like, listen, I just can't, I listen, people with these whole life stories and shit.
Yeah.
You know what? I deal with that a little bit too, man.
You got to communicate. Yeah. So like, I have never really experienced that. And so, no, it's a blessing, but yeah, that one video is done well, but I got to do some more. Cause like, I think it's a smart thing to be doing.
Absolutely.
I've been slacking.
It's a real interesting thing because look, you do want to get paid for your time because especially if you think about energy, it's my time.
Come on now.
But on the same token, I also want to do what I believe to me is the right thing, right? So I have to balance how much energy do I give to someone asking me for their help. At the end of the day, if I was to turn somebody down to give them some real help and they did something to themselves and I wasn't there because I didn't get the payment that I wanted, to some degree, I got to find the balance of that because that's a hard question. Because I'm going to feel really bad if someone does something to themselves and I turn them down because they didn't pay me.
Well, that's more serious. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So for me, in my situation, but at the same time, I need to offer the service. I need to survive too. So I got to find the balance of what I'm willing, how much I'm willing to give in the beginning, and I think I'm doing it well, but it's something that it ain't just to me, a black and white issue. When someone wants help, like, I need your help, man. And then, so I guess what I try to do is that's why I give out the free game. So hopefully you're getting some value in that situation. And then even like if a lot of people hit me up and I'll give them a little free game, I'll give you a little sauce, but and to be honest, and let me make this on my fault, to be honest, when you're really helping someone, what I'm learning is you don't want to just give them the advice. You have to ask them the question so then they can kind of work the shit out. Even if you know the answer, you still need to let them figure it out. So you have to learn how to be a better listener, how to ask the questions. So when I'm consulting someone, it ain't me necessarily just giving advice all day.
Yeah.
And I got to be careful because if I'm doing it for free, somebody's in my DMs asking for help and advice. Well, there's a fine line, but I would feel really bad if something happened to that person.
I wouldn't go that extreme, man.
I know, but I mean that happens, man. I have people in my life where they've taken
Yeah, me too.
So
me too.
It's a thing that
But you gotta make a living too, man.
I get it.
Everybody, you gotta eat.
I get it.
All right, Chris, where do they go to bother you for free?
At Chris Cares on all platforms.
I like that.
At Chris Cares.
You better come with some money in your
right.
I'm just teasing.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna turn no one down from no help, but there will be a level. I'm like, all right, this motherfucker's trying to,
we gotta. Everybody eats beef.
Hold on, we're going back and forth for and I'll give him a link.
Right, that's all you gotta do, bro.
I help him a little bit, and I'm
send me that link,
and I send the link.
That's respectable though.
If
people
you want a little bit more tailored.
People want value, bro. If you're offering the value, they want to compensate you.
Right.
They really do.
They actually do.
They really do.
And at ChrisCaresNone.com.
Shut the fuck up. I want to just shout out to everyone that was in the chat today.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all.
Yeah, shout out to the chat.
Yeah, boy.
Chat GPT, that is. And as always, Cares None. Nick.